Yep, on a day where everyone in America is deciding whether to vote for a giant turd or a douche sandwich to burn this country to the ground, I'm gonna talk about Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange is the newest Marvel movie, the first to feature Doctor Strange, and the second movie in Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I was stoked as hell all year long to see this movie because I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's easily become one of the greatest film franchises ever. And what's also nice is I get to go into this movie really not knowing what to expect because prior to this movie, I knew nothing about Doctor Strange. I guess not nothing. I did know that his powers are magic, but I really didn't know anything else besides that. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe has shown that you don't need to know a superhero's backstory to really enjoy it. Doctor Strange is another one of those examples. So getting right into this movie, I was very interested to see how Benedict Cumberbatch would do as Doctor Strange. A lot of the die-hard Marvel fans told me that he was the perfect choice to play Doctor Strange, and yeah, he did a really great job at it. I just really loved and bought what Benedict Cumberbatch made Dr. Stephen Strange appear to be as a character. Because when we meet Stephen Strange for the first time, he is a brilliant neurosurgeon, possibly the best neurosurgeon in the world. But you can also see in his attitude that he's very cocky, very arrogant, frequently just strutting down the hospital all like, just saving lives over here, cause I'm the man. It's basically like if Tony Stark pursued a career in medicine instead of engineering, that's Stephen Strange. But all of that soon changes on a very rainy night when he goes out for a drive in his really, really nice car. He's going way faster than he probably should in these kind of conditions, and eventually he just gets into a horrible car accident. He is rushed to the hospital, and luckily his life is saved, but he is told by Rachel McAdams, who is a fellow surgeon and also someone he used to be in love with, that he no longer has use of his hands. Which basically means his life as a neurosurgeon, that's gone, because anyone who wants to work in the medical field, they need their hands. But Doctor Strange, he doesn't want to give up this easily. He is pursuing every method he can to regain use of his hands. And for the longest time, it seems like nothing can work until he's told by this physical therapist that there's this guy who suffered a horrific spinal injury. Nobody thought he would ever walk again. And then somehow, some way, he was able to. Doctor Strange is able to find this guy. He tells him that he learned to cure himself through spiritual treatment, which Doctor Strange can find at a place called Kamar-Taj. He goes there, and here's where he is greeted by the Ancient One. And here's where she tells Doctor Strange that he can use magic to cure himself and even become more than he thought he could be. And of course, Strange thinks she's completely full of shit, and then she decides to officially show him her powers. This includes her just pushing his astral form directly out of his body, and then proceeding to just fuck with his mind and showing him all of the various dimensions that exist in the universe. Best part is, once that's all over, you see the look on Strange's face, and he's probably thinking to himself, is that what it's like to do mushrooms? Point is, now Doctor Strange wants to learn these powers, but the Ancient One is very hesitant because she sees the arrogance that's in Doctor Strange, which is very similar to a former student of hers known as Caecilius. But I'll touch more on him later on. Let's get right into the training that Doctor Strange goes through. So Doctor Strange begins his training under the Ancient One and also under Mordo, who's played by Chiwetel Ejiofor. Wasn't expecting to see him in a Marvel movie. And Doctor Strange soon learns from these two and also from fellow Master Wand that it is the duty of these sorcerers to protect the mythical dimensions of the universe, similar to how it is the Avengers' duty to protect the physical dimensions of the universe, if you will. So the first thing that Doctor Strange must learn to do is how to use magic to open a portal. And Doctor Strange is trying and trying, but he can't get it. It gets to a point where the Ancient One's just like, alright, I'm gonna put you on Mount Everest. Then we'll see if you can figure it out. Yeah, Mordo's quick to say what we're all thinking. Yeah, that might be a little bit harsh, but Doctor Strange is able to figure it out, so I guess she knows more than we do. And then around the next scene, we see that Doctor Strange has been training for quite some time now. He has mastered a lot. He easily knows how to use portals and other forms of magic. But that for me was a bit of the bummer right there, because I really wanted to see Doctor Strange learning to master all the sorts of forms of magic. The fact that the movie immediately jumped from him learning the basic form of magic to open a portal and then immediately becoming really good at magic, that kind of bummed me out. And I get that the movie wants to stress that Doctor Strange is so smart, so he was able to learn a lot of this so quickly, and also in the fact that it doesn't want to focus solely on his training. but I would have liked to see a little bit more anyway. But now it's at this point, Doctor Strange has discovered the Eye of Agamotto, a device that can bend time. He proceeds to use this eye to bend time on this textbook where pages were stolen out by Caecilius. However, as Doctor Strange is doing this, Mordo and Wand, they are quick to tell him, you cannot bend space and time. That is a big no-no among sorcerers. And the two of them reveal to Doctor Strange that time is a big factor to why Caecilius betrayed the sorcerers. Caecilius came to Kamar-Taj to learn the art of the magic there after his loved ones died, but he also wanted to find a way to manipulate time so there could be eternal life. And now it's at this point Caecilius and his followers have turned to Kamar-Taj, and right now Doctor Strange is the only one who can protect Kamar-Taj against him and his followers. And this throwdown, I'm gonna say right now, I thought this was really awesome, because here we really get to see what Doctor Strange has learned over this time, because Mordo told him that there would come a time when your life may depend on this magic. And Doctor Strange, he's putting up a great fight with these guys. He is showing that he has learned a lot along this way. One moment that I thought was really cool is at a point Doctor Strange was battling one of Caecilius' followers in their astro forms. They're like duking it out in the hospital, and when you see them fighting in their astro forms, you see them just throwing each other across the room trying to kill each other. But in the physical realm of this hospital, you know, where Rachel McAdams is, she's just seeing maybe a couple stuff, you know, fall off a shelf, or maybe things get bumped around. I just thought that was really clever to see. It made me laugh a few times even. But getting into comedy, let's talk about the Cloak of Levitation. I thought this thing was hilarious. This thing basically has a mind of its own. It allows Doctor Strange to wear it, which gives him the power to fly. But what was also really cool is this thing was just helping to fight against these followers, you know, just tying them up, throwing them around every way it could. I actually thought it was pretty funny. I wasn't expecting it. So Doctor Strange in the end is able to take out the followers. He now approaches Caecilius himself. And here is where Caecilius reveals to Doctor Strange that he stole the pages from that book to summon the dark god Dormammu from the dark dimension, because Dormammu has promised Caecilius that they can go to this dark dimension because here time does not exist and everyone can live forever. Caecilius even reveals to Mordo and Doctor Strange that the Ancient One has been drawing powers from this dark dimension, and that's why she's able to live as long as she has. The Ancient One does eventually show up to help do battle with Caecilius, and now the four of them just start duking it out in the mirror dimension, you know, where they can battle in the physical world and not be seen by the physical world. Unfortunately, Caecilius fatally injures the Ancient One. Doctor Strange brings her to the hospital where hopefully Rachel McAdams can help heal her, but it is to no avail. However, before the Ancient One dies, she reveals to Doctor Strange in their astro forms that sometimes you have to break the rules to do what you feel is right. Because she brings up that Mordo is a very act by the books kind of guy. He's someone who will not break rules. He feels that's very bad if you do that. And sometimes he needs someone to work with him, like Doctor Strange, who's not afraid to do that. And that's how they can win. And now they need to really quickly learn to work together here, because now they have to go to Hong Kong, where the Dark Dimension is already preparing to consume the Earth. Unfortunately though, everything looks like it's toast because Wand is dead, people are dying, cities are being destroyed. It looks like there's nothing that can be done at this point. But Doctor Strange, he remembers what the Ancient One told him, and with that, he decides to go to confront Dormammu himself. Well, you also see that he's wearing the eye again, so you know he's definitely up to something. So he goes into the Dark Dimension, he confronts Dormammu, who's basically this big evil cloud god. He arrives in and he's all like, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. But right away, Dormammu's just all like, I'm a firing my laser. And Doctor Strange like that is just blown to smithereens. But immediately after that happens, Doctor Strange comes right back and he says, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. And then Dormammu just impales him with a bunch of spikes. This happens a couple more times and eventually Dormammu's just all like, what is this? And here's where Doctor Strange reveals to Dormammu that he's using this eye to turn back time. And because they are in this dark dimension where time does not exist, Dormammu is now trapped in this time loop with Doctor Strange. And Dormammu reveals to Doctor Strange, it's like, that just means I'm gonna kill you again and again and again. You're gonna live a torturous life forever. But what I love is Doctor Strange says, that may be, but it also means the Earth will be safe. This right here just shows how much Doctor Strange has grown throughout this movie. Because in the beginning, yes, he was a neurosurgeon who was saving people's lives, but you could tell he was probably doing it more for the glory of it. Here, he is prepared to put himself through an eternity of torture and suffering just so the Earth will be untouched and safe. I love seeing growth in characters in movies, and this is a great example of that. So yeah, Dormammu kills Doctor Strange, then he comes back, kills him, he comes back, kills him, he comes back. And I just love, you see Dormammu, he basically gets to the point where he's just like, okay, dude, seriously, can you please fuck off forever? He finally agrees to hear out Doctor Strange's deal, and Doctor Strange says to him, I will stop this time loop if you leave Earth forever, never come back, and you take your followers with you. Dormammu agrees to this deal, and as a result, he leaves Earth, he takes Caecilius and his followers with him, and as a result, the Earth is returned to normal. All those people who died are now back to life. The cities are no longer being destroyed. Wand comes back to life. However, it's at this point Mordo decides to leave Kamar-Taj because he can't agree with the Ancient One and Doctor Strange defying nature. Doctor Strange is essentially named the official guardian of the New York region of the world that the sorcerers protect. However, Doctor Strange is asked by Wand to return the eye to where it was because it is an Infinity Stone and shouldn't be messed with that much. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the second Wand mentioned that was an Infinity Stone, I just lost my shit. I was just like, oh my god, that's a Time Stone. That means there are 5, and that means there's only 1 more. What's the last one? Holy shit! However, at the time, I had to bottle that energy because I knew that there were probably a couple post-credit scenes to look forward to. The first is a mid-credit scene where we see Doctor Strange talking to Thor, and here Thor tells Doctor Strange that he is here on Earth with his brother Loki trying to find Odin, and Doctor Strange agreeing to help Thor find Odin, which got me excited for sure, but it also threw a lot of questions at me because now I'm like, oh my gosh, does this mean Doctor Strange is going to be in Thor Ragnarok? Is he going to play a big role in it? What's going on with Odin? Why is he maybe on Earth? It's got me that much more pumped for Thor Ragnarok, I can tell you that right now. And then in a post-credit scene, Mordo confronts the guy who used the magic to learn to walk again, and he steals the magic that's in this guy, and he says, there are too many sorcerers in the world, which now has even more questions in my head. I'm just like, oh, is Mordo a bad guy now? Is he gonna factor into later Marvel movies? Is there gonna be a Doctor Strange sequel? I'm so excited to see how this all pans out. I can't wait, people. So all in all, I thought Doctor Strange was a great movie. Benedict Cumberbatch was fantastic in this movie. He really did show that he was a great choice for Doctor Strange. I loved seeing his powers, how he's able to use magic to go through different dimensions, take on the astral form. I loved seeing how the mirror dimension worked in particular. The fight scenes were really entertaining and completely kick-ass. The visuals for this movie looked awesome. The movie had some really funny moments throughout it. There were a couple scenes with humor, though, that don't hit as well. And as I mentioned, I do wish we could have seen a little bit more of Doctor Strange's training. And I do gotta say this, Caecilius, again, not the most memorable villain in a Marvel movie. And that's the only real gripe people have with Marvel movies. The villains just aren't that memorable. You know, Caecilius just wasn't the next Loki or Winter Soldier or Ultron, you know, the great villains that are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But in the end, I had a lot of fun with Doctor Strange, and I can't wait to see what the character Doctor Strange does further in the MCU. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.